What's up, guys? Welcome back. So we have our hands on a brand new for model year 2023. This is the Toyota Crown LTD, one of the first looks at this vehicle. Brand new for 23. As I mentioned, I'm going to give you a walk around. We'll take a look at the outside, the inside, all the features, and we'll take it for a little drive. Let's get started. Before we get started, I do want to give a huge thank you to Toyota Scranton and the gentleman who already purchased this vehicle for allowing me to have it for a little while and do this review for you guys and give you a first look. This vehicle is already purchased, but if you want to get your hands on one, contact Toyota Scranton. And they are going to be limited availability, of course, but this is a pretty good looking vehicle. Might be worth it if this is kind of your style. So let's take a look here. So up here in the front, you have nice, big, aggressive grille. Premium headlights with daytime running lights that you can see in there. You have your parking sensors that go all the way across, so you have one on each corner, two in the middle. You have your front camera right there. Toyota Safety Sense 3.0 is what comes with this, so you get all of those features. You know, the dynamic cruise, the pedestrian alert, just all those safety features that we're used to from Toyota and their Safety Sense 3.0. Very good system. Coming around the side here, you can see we have some marker lights, front and rear. You'll get a look at the rear when we make our way back there. But 21-inch wheels on this vehicle, wrapped in 225/45/21 Bridgestones. So pretty big wheels, and honestly, the color and the size, they look really good on this Crown. I am definitely a fan. The mirrors are power. They have a side marker light there, turn signals. We'll go over them a little bit more and the functions on them. They do have the camera system up underneath. Panoramic view camera system on this, similar to the Tundra. We'll give you a look. Speaking of panoramic, you do have the roof up there as well. Now that does not open. It's more just for viewing, but again, we'll give you a look when we get inside. It is just for kind of a panoramic view in the vehicle. Making our way around to the back here, we'll give you a look from the back angle. So same thing, you have your four parking sensors going all the way across. Your rear view, your rear camera right there. There is a trunk release hidden right up underneath there. Little button, if you push that, it'll pop the trunk for you. So really good looking car, guys. Obviously, I'm a Tundra guy, I'm a truck guy. I love my trucks, but this is a good looking vehicle. Let's pop the hood. We'll talk a little bit about the power and the drivetrain and all that good stuff that comes with this vehicle. So let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll jump in and we'll give you a look at the interior features. All right, so here's what you're looking at underneath the hood. It is a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder hybrid system. Pumps out 236 combined horsepower. It also has the four-wheel drive system in this is basically like an automatic system. You don't have to manually put it in four-wheel drive. If it senses you're slipping, it'll just kick into four-wheel drive. But that's what we're looking at underneath the hood. And driving it up to the location we're at right now, I will say it's pretty fun to drive. You know, coming from the Tundra that has some serious power, it's a different feel, of course, with being such a smaller vehicle. But you hit the gas, it's got a little jump to it. Before we go any further, there's one feature that I want to mention that it's kind of a big deal because this is the first Toyota vehicle that offers this. The Toyota Crown is going to come with an option to have the digital key capability. Now, what does that mean? If you have the remote connect, you can have you're basically going to be able to start the vehicle with your phone, which is pretty cool. And one of the first things that I thought about when they were telling me about that this morning at Toyota of Scranton, and actually the gentleman who was telling me about it brought it up himself. What if your phone dies? That's one of the first questions people are going to ask. Well, apparently there's a feature where if your phone does die, if you're out somewhere, you'll still be able to somehow start the vehicle. I don't fully understand it because I can't hook it up. This isn't my vehicle. I wish I could to show you guys, but there is going to be a feature on there where if your phone happens to die while you're out somewhere, you still will be able to start the vehicle without your key. But that's pretty cool. First Toyota vehicle that they're going to offer that on. Hopefully it'll come to more vehicles down the line because I do think that's a pretty cool function. Digital key capability with remote connect here on the Crown. Won't need your key anymore. You can start your car with your phone. Last thing I want to show you before we do get in, this trunk. It is deceivingly big. When you look at the outside of this vehicle, you would never expect this much room, but the trunk is massive. So I wish I had something on me to give you kind of like a you know, a scale to show you, but you could easily fit a set of golf clubs back here. I mean, there is a ton of room. Again, looking at the vehicle from the outside, it looks relatively small, but the trunk is massive. So hopefully this gives you an idea of what we're looking at here. Again, I wish I had something to kind of give you a scale. And obviously, if you pick up the mat right here, underneath is your spare, your jack, and all that good stuff. You also have levers right here, one on each side, to if you wanted to pull down and I'm sorry, if you wanted to pull them and push the rear seats down, it gives you even that much more room. I'll put a picture on your screen. Actually, I'll take a picture, but you can drop those rear seats and you have an opening into the vehicle, so you even have more room if you had something longer that you had to put in there. But tons of room back there. Here is your view from the driver's seat. Nice big display. They have it listed as a 12.3 inch display over here for your main dash, and then of course your display over here for the radio and all that good stuff. The mapping is also listed as a 12.3 inch. You can see what the console, or I'm sorry, the dash looks like there. Obviously completely customizable. And again, because this vehicle's already purchased, I'm not gonna go changing a whole lot, but I'll just show you real quick some of the features. So if you watch the dash there, you can kind of scroll through here, get different views, just give you kind of a quick look at different options you have here. And then when you're there, if you want to go into settings, you know, it's all the typical. If you already own a Toyota, honestly, from what I've seen in here, a lot of it is all very similar to what we're used to seeing in other vehicles. Now, with this vehicle is a hybrid only. It does not come in any other configuration. So the Crown is only available in a hybrid option. So there are different things in here as far as like the hybrid system, things like that. But just to give you a general idea of, you know, how the display looks. Again, I don't want to go changing a whole lot on the gentleman who already purchased this vehicle. He was nice enough to let me do this, so I don't want to go messing with it too much. Over here we have our memory seat functions. I do love that in the Tundra, so I'm glad they included that. Something minor, maybe not everybody cares about, but I actually love having seat memory, two different seat memory positions. So you have your mirror controls down here, obviously to move your side view mirrors. You just spin that, and then obviously that's pointing to the passenger side. So if you want to adjust it, you just kind of move the knob however you want to adjust your mirror. This does come with the feature where when you go into reverse, I'll show you. If you watch that mirror right there, I'm going to put the car in reverse and watch what it does. It just automatically goes down. So you can have that. In order to use that, I do want to mention, if you have this knob turned to the center position, that option will not work. Okay, so just something to keep in mind. I know I've seen people with Tundras wonder why theirs isn't working, and that's always the case. So you have to have that either turned to the driver or passenger side in order for that function to work. Okay, so something cool. I personally like that, you know, the fact that it does that, you know, on its own. So speaking of going into reverse and drive and all that good stuff, I want to give you a look at the shift knob, because it's not your standard or typical shift knob. So basically, I'm going to put my foot on the brake here. You can see we're in park right now. In order to get into drive or reverse, if you look at this little diagram right there, you have to pull the shift knob over. So if we just go straight over, we're going to be in neutral. Okay, you can see the end lit up right there. To get into reverse, you have to push over and push up. Okay, now you're going to go into reverse. You can see the backup camera comes on, which we'll give you another a look at there. You also see the R up there on the dash. To go into drive, you push over and pull down. Okay, so now we're in drive mode. All right, to go back into park, just push P. So that's pretty cool, something different. Never seen anything like that, so just wanted to point that out. The B that you see on this diagram, what that is if you're in drive, let me go into drive mode here. If you then pull straight back, what that is it's like a brake assist function. So what that means is, let's say you're in you're going downhill, or you're coming up to a stop sign. What it'll do, from my understanding, is it'll basically almost downshift the vehicle, which helps with slowing down. So again, if you're going downhill, you can use that function. Might be something that a lot of people don't use, but it's there if you want it. All right, so just want to point that out. That's what that B stands for on this selection area right here. Also has your brake hold button, if you don't know what that does. Basically, if you push that, I'll show you up here on the screen. If you look right down in there in the corner, when I push it, you're gonna see the little icon came on there. What that is, if you're in a lot of stop and go traffic or you do a lot of city driving, what that function will do for you with that on, when you stop, here again, let me go into drive here and we'll show you. So I'm just gonna drive, you know, real quick. And when you stop, you'll see it lit up hold right there. The word showed up hold right down there in orange. So I could take my foot off the brake. We're still in drive, but the car isn't going anywhere. Okay, so it's just a brake hold feature. When the light turns green or you're ready to go, all you simply do is hit the gas and you're gonna start moving. And then of course you have your drive mode selector right here. So you have the option to be in normal, sport, or eco. So we'll go ahead and leave it in normal for now, but that's what that is there if you're not familiar with it. So then we also have our traction control button right there. We have our EV mode button over here. I'm not exactly sure what that does. We talked a little bit about it at Toyota this morning, but I don't want to give any false information. I'm not exactly sure what that EV mode button does. From my understanding, it has something to do with if your hybrid battery is charged to a sufficient level and you push that button and turn on EV mode, the vehicle is going to run on your battery, your hybrid battery, a lot, I guess, more to save on gas. Speaking of gas, this vehicle will get right around like the low 40s as far as miles per gallon. But again, that's what that EV mode button does. You'll see if you push it, I'm not going to do it right now because the battery actually, the hybrid battery is a little bit lower than it needs to be, but you'll get an icon right over there on the dash that lights up telling you you're in EV mode. So that's, from my understanding, that's what that button does and the function the purpose that it serves. So here's a quick look at the glove box too. That is decent size. You have this tray that slides, or you could also just pop it right out. You have more charging ports down in there. You have a standard USB. That's your 12-volt cigarette lighter. Okay, so that's what the middle console looks like. This tray will just pop right back in, and again, slides back and forth. Then just a quick look at the rest of the console. You have your two cup holders. This one up here, there's a divider on it, so if you have a bigger cup or anything longer that you wanted to put in there, that divider will pop out pretty easily. There's grooves that it'll sit down on. You have your two USB-C charging ports right there. Your wireless charger up here, which I'll show you. You just pop your phone, slide it right down in there, and it'll start charging for you. You also can put a second phone in here. It won't charge, but again, there's dividers that you can see right there. So let's say you have, you know, your phone right there and your wife wants to put her phone in here as well. You can put another phone in the front slot. Again, it's not going to charge, but it's just another slot to put a phone in. Okay, and then I'm not going to go over all these buttons. You can see the climate control. Your heated steering wheel button is right here in the middle. I actually couldn't find that at first, so that's why I'm pointing that out. I expected it to be over here on the wheel, but it's not. But then you just have all of your standard heating and cooled seats here in the front. Also, there is heated seats in the rear as well, which I'll show you. All right, and then you have your 12.3-inch display. Again, I'm not going to go, if you own a Toyota, it's very similar. It's very similar to the Tundra system. It's almost identical, basically, but I don't want to go changing a whole lot on the gentleman who purchased this vehicle. So, but you can see all your options over here. You have your mapping, music, your phone. This is where you get into settings and all that good stuff. So, all right. So let's get in the back seat. We'll give you a look at that. We'll give you a look at the panoramic view, and we'll wrap it up. So one thing I do want to show you on the 12.3-inch display up there is the camera system. So if you look down here in front of the shifter, you have a view button. While you're in park, if you push the view button, it's going to give you a bird's eye view, 360 degrees around the vehicle. So if you have something close to you or you're not sure if something's close to you, you can go ahead and hit that. It'll give you a 360 degree view. Okay, over here, you have options to where if you hit that button right there, it's going to give you a lower view and a more up close view of around the vehicle. You could also pause the image right there if you wanted to at any point, and then hit play again, it'll continue. You have a settings button down here. If you click that, it'll bring you into these settings that you can change. You can change the vehicle body color and all that good stuff. View under vehicle, that's what I really want to show you. So again, right now we're in park, and that's what it'll do for you. The camera system will do for you when you're in park. But as soon as you go into drive, watch what's going to happen. So we're going to go ahead and put the car in drive, and the view changes to this right here. So you have a view on looking straight down from on top of the car, and then over here is your front camera. Now over here, if you hit this button here, it'll give you a different view of, it almost looks like you're standing on top of the vehicle looking out forward. So just different options there. And then this option here, if you wanted to turn the lines on or off. So just again, different options you can change. But that view under vehicle, watch what happens as you start to drive. So I'm gonna go ahead and start just kind of slowly pulling out here. Sorry, I'm switching hands with the camera, and watch what's gonna happen. So this is very similar to the TRD Pro. The one view that you have on the TRD Pro, you can view what's underneath the vehicle as you drive. And over here, you're just seeing the front camera. But if you turn it to that other view where it's almost like you're standing on top of the car, check out that view. That is pretty cool. So I wanted to make sure I pointed that out, because you could see how it changes as you're turning. You can see the wheels turning and all that good stuff. Hopefully it's showing up. I know that the sun and the glare today is brutal. It's gorgeous out, but I did want to give you a look at that, because that is a pretty cool feature. You can see everything that's underneath the car as you're driving with that option, the view under vehicle turned on. So camera system is pretty cool on this car. I love it on the TRD Pro. So I just wanted to make sure we point that out here on the Crown. All right, so here's what it looks like in the rear. Again, for a smaller size vehicle, there's not much, not many issues with room. I have the driver's seat pushed all the way back for a reason, just to show you. I'm just shy of 6 foot. Call me 6 foot. I'm literally like 5'11" and a half. But just so you know, I do have the driver's seat pushed all the way back just to show you, even with it all the way back, I still have a decent amount of leg room right here. I can easily fit back here comfortably with that seat all the way pushed back. You have your vents, of course, 2 more USB-C charging ports. Heated seats, as I mentioned here in the rear, the buttons for those are on the door. One on this side, one on the passenger side. We'll give you a look up at the panoramic view. Again, the roof does not open, but you have the view, and there is a sliding sunshade. There's a button right up there above the rear view mirror that you'd hit, and the sliding sunshade, its power would, close up if you don't want the view, or if the sun's shining in or whatever, for whatever reason, if you want that closed, it will close. So, all right, quick look from the back. Again, for a smaller size vehicle, plenty of room back here. Then in the middle here, you do have the fold down armrest, a couple cup holders in there. Okay, just want to point that out. Up here, you do have your rear lighting with the button for each side. Back behind the seats there, you can see it's a JBL audio system. So you can see speakers back there. You also have your tethers for car seats and things like that. So it's pretty much all there is in the back here, just to give you an idea of how it's all set up. All right, guys, the 2023 Toyota Crown, there it is, exterior and interior. Now, stay tuned, because I'm going to be doing more videos like this on different vehicles from Toyota of Scranton. And there's a couple vehicles lined up that I really think you're going to enjoy checking out. They're vehicles that you're not going to see every day, very limited editions, and some that are not even for sale to the public. Just a little teaser for you. So make sure you're subscribed, turn on that bell to get notified whenever we post new videos. If you have any questions on this 2023 Crown, let me know. I'll help you out the best I can. If I don't know the answer, I'll find out for you and get it addressed. As always, we appreciate you watching. Subscribe, turn on that bell, and stay tuned, because you are going to want to check out future vehicle demonstrations that we're going to do here on the channel. All right, as always, thanks for watching. We will see you on the next video. See ya!